Alright, well, I've just finished the Kings video, and I've been getting increasingly frustrated with this. Every damn video. So if you've noticed I've been swatting off camera lately, that's why. It's the only spot she baths herself. She does it all day. Constantly. Unless I do that. It's blackmail, and I don't like it. I don't. I know you're a cute kitty, but I don't like blackmail. Notice she's not bathing herself or panicking that I stopped her mid-bath, as most cats will. Cats hate being stopped mid-bath, and they hate being petted on an area that they were just bathing themselves. She's been bathing herself constantly for days to get my attention. Now she's purring. She's a happy cat. You may even hear her purring at the start of the video I just posted. I think the Winnipeg one she was purring at the start of. And right next to the microphone. It's like she's bathing herself and she's purring. She's like, I'm going to make sure that your surface you're using, which is your bed, is bouncy. And I'm going to make sure it's distracting. I'm going to be a pain in the butt because I want attention. But it is hard for me to do a season preview and go right behind my cat, you'll notice. Anyways, I wanted to get you guys some kind of an update here. So Yvonne's gone out today. I was supposed to go with her, but I'm just wrecked. I had a frustrating week at work, as I said. The reality that my son isn't coming home is setting in, and I have mixed feelings on that. Honestly, the kids have been a lot easier to deal with without him, because now I can parent them. When there's one set of rules for her kids and another set of rules for my kid, it makes it impossible for me to parent the 3 kids that are here. And Noah wasn't going to buy into what I was going to basically tell him, which was, guess what? You're going to have to start obeying rules. No, see, you can't climb my chest. I got you in my lap. You got what you wanted. You're not climbing my chest. No. You're not doing. You got a booger in your face. Get that out of there. I don't know how you get dirt in your nose. You don't go anywhere. You never go outside. You don't do anything. And then I look and you got black specks in your nose. What are you doing? Hey? Or is that from your brother? Is that black fur in your nose from when you bite him? But yeah, so it's actually been a lot less tense. There's been a lot more harmony in the home. And I'm happy about that. I'm not happy he's gone. We shouldn't have needed to go to this length. And while it would be easy for me to say, well, you know, he's a kid and when they're young, I never did any of that. I grew up in the same community he did. I went to the same school he did. In some cases, I had the same teachers he did. So when he's coming home and saying, the teachers are this, school's that, and it's like, I went to that school. It's a good school. He's a good teacher. You're an idiot. And that's, it is really hard, as a parent to hear all that and just, oh, well, I support you. When you're thinking to yourself, no. And I tried that with him. I tried saying, this guy's a good teacher and he's fine. And then, when I told him I was friends with one of his teachers in Sardis, he basically was like, well, maybe you can pull some strings and get my grade up. And it's like, what? No, you could show up at school and get your grade up. And this was 2 years ago. So a big part of what's happening is that when my ex-wife left me in April of 2014, Noah started skipping school that week. As soon as she was gone, she wasn't getting him out of bed to motivate him. He was like, I don't need to go to school. And he skipped a lot of school over the next 2 months. The only thing that helped him get through that grade is that there was a teacher strike that wiped out the final exams. If he had to go and take his final exams, he would have failed that year too. Because he wasn't going. He wasn't paying attention. He wasn't doing homework. And that was when I still had my daughter living with me. And all my daughter was doing was yelling and screaming about how horrible he was and how he wasn't going to school, and he was refusing to get up when she was going to school. So when people say, well, maybe things can just get fixed. No, this went on for over 3 years. This was as dysfunctional as it got. And moving him in here was the last straw. That was it. I was like, all right. So we were going to kick him out. As soon as somebody's bringing homeless people into your house and they're druggies, that's a sign they probably shouldn't be there. Because homeless people, druggies, and you've got 3 small children, no, that's bad. That's bad news. And we've got all kinds of electronics and stuff that certainly a person down on their luck and needing money for drugs might say, hey, well, I get this chance to case the joint. Because he was bringing people over when we weren't here. So there was a lot of stuff. But I digress. This video is not about that. Stop clawing my jersey. Stop. Stop. This is how I end up with a bunch of snags. Don't look at me like that. I get a bunch of snags from you. Not your brother, from you. And I don't need snags on my jersey, and you don't need to need me like I'm your mom. Because there's no milk coming out of Johnny Canuck. It's not going to happen. Like, God, I hope not. But yeah, so, I've been doing my best to stay up with videos and stay up with everything. But my head has not been in the game. I'm not going to lie. The contest I've put on the back burner until my ex-wife's boyfriend Steve and his sister, until they find something else to do other than downvote my videos and talk shit about me on the internet. Once because my son's playing full-on victim with them, but once they've moved on and found something else to do, then I can get into the next phase of the contest, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. And the jersey giveaway, which ended up with a lot of entries. There was one entry that really stood out to me. There were some that were impassioned. There were some that were kind of off the cuff, like, hey, I can use it as a prop. And while they were creative and fun little stories, there was one that was just, I want it for this reason, because of this and this. And I'm like, that sounds really reasonable. So that person likely is going to get an email from me. I'm just not sure how to tell people that they didn't win it, other than just to say, if you got an email from me, you're the winner. If you didn't, you missed out, and I'll have consolation prizes. I got a new hat. I got 3 new hats. I got the Canucks, the Canucks one that I wore yesterday in the video with no sound, and then did it again when there was sound when I got home. I threw my phone when I saw there's no audio on that video. I was so pissed off. And I've never thrown my phone before, but I was like, oh my, it's just how unprofessional that looks compared to what I'm trying to do here. It's heartbreaking. But I got this hat to match this jersey. That's why I'm showing it off this video, because Yvonne's like, that'll match your Johnny Canuck jersey. So she is looking out for me. In our wedding vows, she said, make sure your hats match your jerseys. I'll tell you when they don't. She's not kidding. That was in the wedding vows for a reason. She legit does that. Anytime I go to leave the house, it's like, those don't match. And of course, the trick is, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, even a year ago, I would leave the house and I would look at myself and go, well, I got a Blackhawks hat on and a Blues jersey on. Let's go see what people have to say about that. Let's see the weird looks I have that I have a Toronto Maple Leafs hat and a Canadiens jersey on. This is so fun. She won't let me leave the house like that. So, and I say that she's not an ogre or anything. It's just she points out that doesn't look right. And if I leave the house that way, she'll look at me and do this and do that a few times, and it's like, all right, fine. So now when I leave, now it's assumed I'm a fan of every team. So even when we were down in Bellingham, there was one kid who kind of calls across Bellis Fair Mall at me and goes, Buffalo? The Sabres? It does that, and she's like, see? You should go over and talk to him. He's hockey. And I'm like, I'm not going over to talk to him. It's not happening. But it was funny, because when that happens, I'm half tempted to say, yeah, I'm actually, it's a look I do. I'm the hockey guy. You can look me up on YouTube. You look me up on Google. But it seems really weird to me to advertise myself, even though I'm getting closer and closer to 10,000 subs. I don't know why I pointed at that board, the amount of subs is on the other board. But Yeah, so with Yvonne out today, she had to take Malachi to it's a camp for autistic kids. Um, I'm very defensive of this family, and in part because Malachi is autistic, and I hate to go back to my son that I was talking about before, but he did not have the patience. Um, Malachi's very physical, in that he's very affectionate, give you all kinds of big bear hugs, whether you want them or you don't, and he can be very, you know, um, likely to. Let's see, the other night he found a slingshot. I'm looking because I'm looking right at it. He found a slingshot that Yvonne forgot he even had. He found it in the mess of his room and started slingshotting batteries at the neighborhood kids from the deck up here. So from the second floor, he was raining batteries down on little kids, which sounds funny, and it's genuinely something that if I saw it in a movie, I would laugh really hard. But in reality, I'd rather not have the police show up. So, it's that kind of thing, and it's that he doesn't have a filter that would cause my kid not to have any patience with him. And, you know, there are things that I see that make me yell at him, but I can go back to him 5 minutes later and just treat him the same as I treat everybody else. Because he forgets things really fast. A couple of times where he's been using a toy as a weapon, and I just take it. I walk over to him and say, give it here. And he hands it over. And then he's like, well, when do I get it back? And I'm like, we're not going to talk about that. And I take it and bring it upstairs and hide it. By the next morning, he's forgotten all about it. And it's not that he's not asking us because he's having some kind of a mental war with it. He's genuinely forgotten it exists until he sees it again. Just like I'm sure he forgot that slingshot until he saw it again. He's, and again, that, you know, autism, there's all kinds of things that come with that. He won't eat anything that's red. His favorite color is red. So if you have a red cup, a red bowl, a red anything, he owns it. He believes that the color red is his. And apparently that is an autistic thing. So as he gets older, we're going to have challenges from that. His maturity level is below where most kids his age is. That's why Yvonne homeschools. So when I talk about homeschooling, people are going to say, oh, you know, she's overweight and she's a homeschooler and she's religious. No, she has to homeschool Malachi. So since she's already homeschooling one, she might as well homeschool the other kids. And the funny thing is, Malachi was talking about, oh, I want to go to public school after he saw what my kid was getting away with. So I told them what happened before my kid left. He told his mother after I left the room, he's like, I don't want to go to public school. So that worked. Because, you know, if I could go back and do it all over again, would I have wanted to see my son homeschooled? Probably. And because while my son's not autistic, he's very, very easily influenced. He's very gullible, very naive. He will believe anything you tell him on the surface of it. He doesn't assume anybody is lying to him. I used to call him Butters for that reason. Because I'd watch South Park and then I'd talk to him and I'd be like, man, he's Butters. He believes everything that's told to him. He is this wide-eyed innocence to the world. And people have taken advantage of it since he hit his teen years. So while it's better that he's up at his mother will coddle him. She'll believe anything he tells her. I don't know. You know, it's a being a parent is not easy. And while I appreciate that public schools gave my son every chance in the world, they also kept passing him when they shouldn't have. For 3 years, I argued with schools, wait, you passed him? Yep, he's a smart kid. We're not talking about intelligence, we're talking about effort. You passed him when he made no effort? The message that sends to other kids who failed? But there is a no child left behind mentality that has taken over the education system, and it's creating a lazier, dumber version of what people my age were when we came out of school. There were plenty of unmotivated kids when I went to school. Lots. And many of them amounted to not a whole lot. Some of them did, because their parents had money. But the system now is, you don't even make them fail. School playgrounds are made as safe as possible now. Kids can't get hurt. We used to get hurt. Every day, every lunch hour, some kid would get nailed on the monkey bars. Or some kid, what happened? I don't know. Little Jimmy cracked his head open. It was pretty funny. So you can see the blood over there if you want to go over it now. There was blood? Quick, it's code orange. Everybody get it in the school. And wrap all the children in saran wrap. And bubble wrap. And anything else. And don't forget to cut out the mouth holes or they'll suffocate. Like, lawn darts. It always goes back to lawn darts for me. I miss lawn darts. It's not my fault some stupid kid landed one in their eye. Stupid. Remember telling my boss at Vantage Foods when I started working there, saying, alright, I have a system in which you guys can root out the stupid ones from the smart ones. I said, give everybody a lawn dart, tell them to throw it straight up in the air. And I said, the dumb ones are going to be the ones that come back with eye patches. The smart ones will still have 2 eyeballs. He thought that was really funny. And, it's sad, but stop scratching. Stop scratching, Johnny. Stop it. Johnny doesn't deserve that. He's a nice Canuck. She's so happy that I'm holding on to her. But I can't do season preview videos while I'm holding a cat. Well, I'd like to motion to, but I'm holding a cat. So, I'm going to be doing more of the season previews today, so her happiness is not going to continue for much longer. But I love my cats very much. And I know they love me, which helps. She was a tiny cat 3 years ago when my ex left, and she would just sleep on my chest until I fell asleep. Isn't that right, kitty? Yes, I know. She loves me so much. Don't ya? Huh? But anyways, I wanted to touch base with my patrons and just let them know if I seem a little bit out of sorts lately. That's why. And I needed a bit of a break. We were supposed to go into Vancouver today. We went into Bellingham on Thursday, which is an hour there, an hour back. We went to Vancouver yesterday, which is an hour there, an hour back. And then we're going to Vancouver today, and it was going to be 6 hours in Vancouver, and then an hour back. And I'm like, I can't. I can't do it. I can't. Yesterday at work was just it. I was like, I'm just so done. I'm just done. When you feel like you're part of a team, but you're isolated from them, and that you're busting your ass to get things done, and in the end it just doesn't matter, because without the support and help from other people, it doesn't. Speaking of in the end it doesn't matter, the death of the Linkin Park lead singer, Chester's death, it reminded me of the fact that we have a lot of hockey players who are no longer with us. And I don't think the depression conversation comes up enough outside of Bell's Let's Talk month. So I have thought about doing a video regarding that, but I have a lot of other stuff to do videos on first. So just to let you guys know what's coming up. And I've been reading a lot of debate magazines, and greatest of all time magazines of those type, looking back over the last 5 years. And I intend to do videos on that. In fact, I have a video I intend to do today on the whites versus darks, what should home teams wear debate. And I have a very honest opinion on that, and I've had the same opinion for over 20 years. And I don't understand why the NHL doesn't adopt what my opinion is on it, and I'll discuss that when I do a video soon. But thanks for watching. I don't worry about making my videos too short for you guys, because you guys are, paying every month, and I might as well give you guys a video to enjoy. And I wanted to make sure it wasn't a downer. My last few videos for you guys have been downers or angry, and I'm not angry right now. I'm not down. I'm just exhausted. I am so exhausted. So, see, you want me to hold you, and then when I don't hold you the right way, then you want down. So you want exactly to be held the exact way you want, and you want to get in the way of the camera, and you want to bath yourself if I'm not going to have you in my lap. So I put her down, and now she's trying to figure her way back into my lap. So that's the I'm going to figure it a way back into your lap look. That's my I don't think so ear rub that I give her. And then I sort of gently, so what I've been doing is just gently doing this with her. So if you see me reaching off camera, it's probably to gently push her the other way. So let's see what she does. She's looking over again. No, I'm going to lay here. But at least her brother's doing the bathing for right now. I'm in cat bath hell. All right. But I'm going to get video stuff done, and that way when Yvonne gets home tonight, we can watch some TV and watch a movie. I have not watched TV in weeks. Like, I watched Samantha Bee last night because I forgot that it was even on. Thankfully, my PVR automatically records it, or else I have no idea what's going on. So I haven't watched anything in a while. I'm 9 episodes behind on Doctor Who. I haven't watched the last 9 episodes out of 12. Can't be that many. It's got to be 7. And then I'm 5 episodes behind on Dark Matter. It's just so upsetting. And then I'm 5 or 6 behind on Twin Peaks. Yeah, that's how much TV I've been watching lately. So if I get kind of snippy when people make comments about my channel's broadcasts or production quality, that's why. Because I'm using a lot of my own time to talk to you guys, and I'm not getting caught up on things that I want to do. So, and I'm doing this to make sure that the channel grows, that it keeps up its rate of growth. I feel like I have to strike while the iron's hot. While everybody else is taking the summer off, I've got to buckle down and keep doing it, because last summer is when my channel really started growing, and I've got to maintain that, and we'll see what happens. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.